story begins in Bavaria on May 1st, 1776. May 1st is now the satanic holiday of Beltane. Adam Weishaupt, Anton von Mussenhausen, Merz Tiberius, Franz Xavier Zwack, and Adolf Baron von Nige formed the Order of the Illuminati. Weishaupt's philosophy was that the Illuminati should rule the world. Adam Weishaupt said the following, quote, "The great strength of our order lies in its concealment. Let it never appear in any place in its own name, but by another name and another activity. None is fitter than Freemasonry. The public is accustomed to it, expect little from it, and therefore takes little notice of it," unquote. So it was said, they would infiltrate Freemasonry to achieve their goal. The one who helped Weishaupt gain admission into lodges was Adolf Baron von Nige. Adolf attained the highest degree of the Knights Templar, the Cypriot Knight, in 1777 at Hanau. From late 1777 and onward, Weishaupt and his order infiltrated Masonic lodges all over Belgium, Austria, France, Holland, Denmark, Sweden, Poland, Hungary, and Italy. One of Weishaupt's first initiates, Louis Philippe Joseph, Duke of Orleans, had already been initiated into the French Grand Lodge, and according to Mackey's Encyclopedia, he was elected Grand Master in 1773 upon the death of Count de Clermont. Weishaupt stated that the plan for the New World Order could not successfully be executed in any other way than through secret societies that gradually and quietly took over government. The Illuminati gained significant control on July 16, 1782, at the Masonic Congress of Wilhelmsbad. This meeting included Masons from all over Europe and Illuminati members such as von Nige. Here the Illuminati spread their doctrine and promoted their ideology. This allowed them to solidify their control over Masonic lodges of Europe and to be viewed as the leaders of the occult One World movement. Marshal Henry Philip Pétain was against Freemasonry. He closed down the Grand Orient in 1940. He then forced legislation demanding the disbanding of all secret societies. Masons were forced to either resign from their posts or from their lodges. Pétain was a traitor, and he was working with the German army, providing them with large food supplies and manufactured goods. Pétain had a total of 5,000 Masons arrested. He took the opportunity to confiscate the archives of the Freemasons, which were handed to the German government. The Freemasons took their revenge on Pétain in 1945 when he was sentenced to life in prison for treason. So with the help of Pétain, the Germans had the powerful French Grand Orient archives, but not for long. After a grueling and bloody battle, the Soviets had their way with Germany, and in 1945 at Castle of Alten in Niederschleusen, the Red Army came across 25 large German railway cars containing the powerful French Grand Orient archives. The documents gave a comprehensive picture of the secret power wielded by international Freemasonry. The information in the documents contained important details about the Masonic conspiracy for a New World Order, One World government with the West. With the aid of the secret Masonic archives, Stalin was able to blackmail several Western Masonic politicians who feared exposure. Even the pro-Masonic magazine, Freemasonry Today, Autumn 2001 edition, talks about the same thing. Quote, "On June 14, 1940, the German army entered Paris and on the same day took control of the buildings of the Grand Orient de France. At Rue Cadet, situated in the center of the city, German military intelligence officers also paid a visit to the homes of the Masons. On July 1st, 1940, the German Foreign Minister Alfred Rosenberg informed Martin Bormann that, quote, the great treasures had been discovered in occupied Masonic premises. Teams were established to seize documents relating to the workings of the Grand Orient, the largest organized body of French Freemasonry. They seized valuable historical documents specifically targeting files covering the Grand Orient's external relations from the middle of the 19th century. Stalin's victorious Red Army later transferred them to Moscow's Special Central State Archives, where their very existence remained a state secret. It was not until after the fall of the communist regime in 1990 that an American researcher, Kennedy Grimstead, revealed their existence. After prolonged negotiations, the archives were successfully returned to France. According to the Grand Orient's librarian, Pierre Molière, this was like Christmas many times over. Illuminized Masonic symbolism is all over America. On the back of the dollar bill on the left-hand side above the pyramid it says Annuit Coeptus, which means our enterprise is now a success, or a crowned success. So what enterprise does it mean? Well, Novus Ordo Seclorum near the bottom, Novus meaning new, Ordo is order, Seclorum is where we get our word secular, meaning the world. So it means new order of the world, simply new world order. So what it's saying is the new world order is now a crowned success. This was put on the dollar bill in 1934. 1934 is when the Federal Reserve took total control of the United States monetary system. The Fed is essentially controlled by two Illuminati bloodlines, the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a 32nd degree Scottish Rite Mason, placed the seal on the dollar bill. Roosevelt was also in the Order of the Nobles of a mystic shrine known for its satanic rituals. The pyramid has 13 steps. In fact, the number 13 is on the bill everywhere. 13 leaves on the olive branch, 13 berries, 13 stripes on the shield, 13 arrows, 13 stars, 13 letters on E pluribus unum, and 13 letters in Anuit Coeptus. Now some people believe 13 is on the bill due to the 13 colonies, but dig a little bit deeper and you'll find the real answer. The 13 colony explanation is subliminal, indirect, reverse psychological propaganda. That's how these people do things. We must go back to the first occurrence of the number 13 in order to discover its key significance. It occurs first in Genesis 14 verse 4. It says 12 years they served Kedalaomer, and in the 13th year they rebelled. These people are rebelling against the divine natural order, and Adam Weishaupt was a rebel as well. The other half of the meaning comes from Fritz Springmeier. 13 also represents the 13 top Illuminati families that he traced back to the late 18th century and the early 19th century. He is credible, and that's why he was framed by the government and thrown in a cage. 1776 is in Roman numerals near the bottom. Some think it's because of the founding of the country. Another case of subliminal, indirect, reverse psychological propaganda. 1776 is when the Illuminati was formed. The New World Order. Another striking fact is that the eagle has 32 feathers on the right wing, the number of ordinary degrees of the Scottish Rite. There's 33 feathers on the left wing, representing the 33rd degree. The tail has 9 feathers, which represents the 9th degree of the York Rite. The eagle itself is a prominent icon in Masonry, extensively used in the Scottish Rite. These people use symbolism and code to communicate with each other, showing their dominance over the world. You'll notice that the pyramid and the all-seeing eye on the dollar bill is the exact same as the British intelligence service, MI5. This is a display of power. They're saying they control these two countries. Thus, they control the world. Now, one of the satanic Illuminati families that controls the world are the Rockefellers. In 1921, David Rockefeller founded the Council on Foreign Relations, which is the promotional arm of the ruling elite in the U.S. This is meant to control the U.S. from behind the scenes. Now, David Rockefeller wrote a book called Memoirs in 2002. He said something striking. He said, quote, "We wield over American political and economical institutions. Some even believe we are part of a secret cabal working against the best interests of the United States, characterizing my family and me as internationalists, and of conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political structure, one world if you will. If that's the charge, I stand guilty, and I'm proud of it." David Rockefeller was the co-founder and is the honorary chairman of the infamous Trilateral Commission. In June 1991, addressing the Trilateral Commission, David Rockefeller said the following: "We are grateful to the Washington Post, the New York Times, Time Magazine, and other great publications whose directors have attended our meetings and respected their promises of discretion for almost 40 years. It would have been impossible for us to develop our plan for the world if we had been subject to the bright lights of publicity during those years. But the world is now much more sophisticated and prepared to march towards world government." Co-founder of the Trilateral Commission, Bilderberg attendee, and high-ranking Freemason of the Grand Lodge of Pennsylvania, Zbigniew Brzezinski, said the following in 1970, quote, "I have no doubt that the world government will appear in our lifetime. The necessary requirements for final globalization is a continuous regionalization, because that way we move toward larger, more stable, and more cooperative units," unquote. These people are Illuminati, and they all have a common goal, which is a one-world government fascist system.
Now, if you've ever